Slurply derp, my G's, and thank you very much for joining me today. For those of you who've been following along very recently, you'll have noticed that I keep coughing in my videos, and although it's slightly getting better, I think I've figured out why I'm coughing so much. I thought it was maybe an infection, but I had a look in my aircon unit here in Manila earlier today, because I was trying to figure out, why is this cough just not going away? And there was like some mould inside the air conditioning unit. So I wonder if I've been breathing in mould spores for 3 weeks and that's what's done it. And it's not been a infection, or it's just been, mould. Anyway, yuck. It's okay though. I've barricaded the aircon. I'm going to have to be sweating out for the next week. But yeah, it's only one more week until I'm moving to Bali anyway. So yeah, I can put up with it for another week. But anyway, I did get enough strength in my voice. I rested a lot this morning, and I got enough strength to do a tutorial today. So as promised, or as I almost promised yesterday, about doing a nice Jungle Reese for you guys today to go along with this little loop slash beat that I've been working on. And yeah, I've pulled one off, and I really like it. So I'm going to give you the method to the madness for a nice Jungle Reese in phase plant in just a moment. Let's have a listen to the loop first. Reese baby. So anyway, let's break down the Reese, right? For the other sounds, I basically, for the Mixdown, I just took out a little bit of low end on the jungle pad. I brought some low end out of that. I brought a little bit of low end out of the dub stabs as well, just to make a bit of space for the Reese and yeah, give it a bit more priority, I just threw a quick sidechain to the kick. Yeah, sidechain for the kick on the Reese. A little bit of a stereo low cut, cutting out the sides a little bit, and that's it really. That's all I changed in the mixing of the track. So let's actually listen to the Reese and break down the patch. So what I really like about this Reese, it's one of my favourite Jungle Reeses that I've made, is it focuses on that key Reese area in the spectrum where this kind of you've got your sub, but then obviously the next harmonic up, the sort of 80 hertz 100 hertz range, and like even higher. I really like that's the focus, that's the focal point of the Reese, as it kind of should be for a jungly Reese, that area, but it's got enough other stuff going on to get it to cut through the mix. And so that's the key part of the sound design process, is trying to achieve that, right? In the MIDI, I've got like a simple pattern that plays around E, but I've got these little octave jumps that allow the Reese to speed up because it's naturally detuned. Alright, so let's break it down then. I'm going to try and keep this video under 10 minutes if I can, to give my voice a bit more of a chance to heal. But yeah, so I basically have 2 triangle waves and 1 sine wave, right? So the triangle waves are the octave up, and they're doing the detuning, right? So we've got one about minus 12.71 and one at minus 11.92. So that's the natural detuning, and these guys are a bit lower, about around 75% in the volume. And the main sine wave, sorry, the only sine wave, the main sub bass is an octave lower, and that's just bang on the money, minus 24. So sine wave for the low end, and then the triangles for like the harmonic. And it already sounds great. It's already got this great wham 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 in built already, just from the oscillators. So everything else is just enhancing what we've already got, basically. So a little notch filter with some, I've just got one LFO doing a little ramp down just for some like funky movement. Yeah, so this notch filter is taking out a fair bit. It kind of changes the speed up a bit. It gives a bit of a different vibe, you know. It makes it a bit quiet, you know, so I tend to always put the shaper table directly after the filter table to bring the volume back up again. So nice and gritty here on the using the window fold preset under the wave shaping folding, and the smooth mode is quite nice because there's a lot of spectral waveforms in phase plant that can be quite aggressive, and if you use the smooth you can smooth them all out so that they're not so harsh. This one was not too harsh to begin with, but other ones are, and if you smooth them out you can get the best of both. You can still have the that particular wavetable but without all of the gritty high end, which is sometimes very useful. Now I'm boosting the high end a little bit. Alright, now I thought I'd add in a bit of noise, digital noise. With the bandpass noise, you can see my settings, everything up to the right, and then just mixing in a little bit of movement as well, but only 3%. Just a little fizz on top, wonderful. Flanging the whole lot now, I love my flangers these days. I feel like they're a great way to add natural movement and sort of a pitch drift, you know. So 40%, quite a lot of flanging going on, but yeah, gives it quite a different sound. Filtering again, and this is a little thing I've been enjoying recently, is doing a little notch boost and moving it around the spectrum a nice amount in the mid range. Just gives a bit more focus in the mid range, kind of draws your ears to it more because that's what's the part that's moving around, you know. Little comb filter on the last lane here, movement on that frequency as well on the stereo mode, but mixed in only a little bit because it went quite wide quickly. So only about 7%. But it does definitely, it does add a nice little extra stereo dimension, worth having on. A little bit of distortion to mixing in a bit of a distortion signal, I should say. It's quite aggressive. I'm a big fan of doing these overly aggressive distortions that bring in a lot of fullness in the low end, like this one does. Like, it destroys the sound, but it brings this low end fullness, and I can just balance a bit of that fullness back into the original. You know, so yeah, it's not messing up the original, but it's giving it almost a little low end lift in a nice saturated way. Then I've just EQ'd it with a slice EQ at the end. I've taken out a bit of this area here around 200. It was a little bit muddy at this particular bass, so I sort of scooped that out and then boosted all the highs, really. That was it, really. And yeah, there you go. So just, yeah, nice natural detuning. Obviously the higher the notes, the faster the detuning will be, as it's all set up to the movements. The main movement setups come from this detuning of these two oscillators, so very natural across your keyboard with different speeds as you like with a Reese. But yeah, that's the Jungle Reese, and yeah, like I mentioned at the beginning, it's kind of why I really like this one, is it has a lot of natural movements, as well as the detuned movement, but also it has an element of character and warmth and like enough presence as well. So it's not just a low end sine wave, it's got a lot of presence across the whole board, you know. If I take a look with an EQ, you know, it's not like, you know, full on Neurofunk bass, but it's got like some content all the way up, you know. Especially with the noise going all the way up to the top. So although it's a sine wavy jungly Reese, I've still covered quite a lot of the spectrum, which is great because you can hear it a bit better in the mix then, you know. Yeah, that's it really. I think that's it really. I think I can give my voice a bit more of a rest today, and get a bit more rest and hopefully get better by tomorrow, but without any aircon. Hopefully I can sleep, it won't be too hot. But I have got a little fan here, so I should be alright. But yeah, hopefully that's the cause, because I feel like I just figured out what was giving me this ridiculously lingering cough, and I think it's actually the environment that's perpetuating it and not my own immune system. So good to know it's not my immune system's fault. Anyway, wish me luck that that's the cause anyway. But yeah, that's our little jungly Reese loop for today. Hope you guys enjoy that. Let me know in the comments section if you've got any other requests for different kinds of videos. I'm just freestyling here at the moment, but looking to do some, always up for some feedback and ideas for other videos. I do try to read your comments as much as I can, and occasionally make some videos based off of them. So you might get lucky and get your question answered in a video. So definitely feel free to ask. But yeah, that's it from me today. May I quickly remind you as well, if you'd like to have a one-on-one class with me, I have mentorship services available via the links down below. You can access my online calendar and book yourself something in. Don't worry, I will appear there on the other side of Zoom at your decided time of booking. You don't need to fear. And I also have mixing and mastering services. You can always email me for more information on that and on my production lessons as well. If you're on the fence about booking and you're not sure, you can feel free to send me an email and ask some questions. info@art1factmusic.com. Also, come along and join me on Discord. I've got a beautiful community of humans. They're very intelligent, much superior than me at life. But you have to join via Patreon, and that's the catch, you know. But it keeps out the riffraff, so you know it's fine, I think. But yeah, the Discord Fireteam tier is the one to join if you want to get into the Discord, and it's definitely worth it. It's a really great, supportive, friendly community of people. Finally, as you've seen, I've been on a bit of a faceplant rampage recently, and I appreciate everyone who's bought some preset packs recently, specifically the faceplant ones. But yeah, there are loads on my website if you want any vital packs as well, and a current pack. So check those out if you want some fresh new sounds. Alright my G's, make sure you like and subscribe. I'll catch up with you guys very soon. Until then, ciao ciao.